Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday, I was out here, and it was raining. Water was just dripping off the umbrella here. It was kind of cold. I had to put a cushion on, and it kind of chilly, you know. But today, it's still kind of chilly. You know, it's that April showers brings May flowers where, it's kind of like March where it comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb or whatever it is. But, a couple of days ago it was 80 some degrees. Tonight it's down in the 30s. And I know it's not like the extremes you have in Houston, so to speak. But it's chilly, but it's okay. It's okay. Tomorrow will be cold, and then, what'll probably happen by the weekend? It'll probably be like 70, 80 degrees. But, that's life. Life is constantly changing around us. So, we had talked about the Cowboys signing Aldon Smith. Now, Aldon Smith hasn't played since 2016, and you don't know how much he has in the tank. What we do know, of course, is that Aldon Smith, besides having some issues and sleeping under his car and things, has gotten help, and Jay Glazer has, said a lot of great things about him and said that the guy's still a beast. He has been on the commissioner's exempt list, I guess, and has been suspended since 2016. But the Cowboys signed him a contract, which is not costing him anything until he gets reinstated, or if he gets reinstated. Even with that, he's only going to cost $2 million unless he performs. And at worst case, they'll pay him $4.5 million, which is not bad in comparison to what his ability used to be. I'm not saying that he's going to be that absolute positive beast that he was his first couple of years, that terror on the field. But if he's like, let's say, 70% of that, that's pretty damn good. I mean, hey, buddy, that's real good. Then we have Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory, who should have been a first-round draft pick, but unfortunately got tested positive for marijuana during the combine. And that cascaded into weekly tests in the NFL because he was in the program, which meant that any failed test, you only needed one failed test in a year, and that's it. You were getting suspended. Now, the first year he did fail 3 before he finally got suspended, but, once you got the first suspension, the rest were just coming right on through there. And as we've learned now because of the new CBA, Zach Braun, linebacker from Wisconsin, who had a diluted test. Diluted meaning you had a whole lot of water that kind of flushed your system out. That literally, when you peed, you just peed water. There was no urine in there. And usually, or normally, what would happen is if you got a diluted test like that, they say, hey, buddy, you're trying to hide something. You're a fail. You're a fail. And he reported to teams that he had a diluted test. Not a fail, a diluted test. Because now you don't actually fail the test. NFL, so to speak, is grading on a curve. Because you won't get suspended for a failed test. You can get fined, but you won't miss playing time. In which case, this does not hurt Zach Braun's ability to be a first-round draft pick. And he is, I think, the third highest prospect at linebacker. Now, he says, I was trying to make a little extra weight. So I was drinking more water to put on some more body weight. So when I did my weigh-in, because he weighed 232 pounds. I wish I weighed 232 pounds. Boy, I'm a real fat ass. So here's the thing I was talking about before was, I don't know if and when Randy Gregory was going to file for reinstatement. We heard that he was planning to. We just didn't know exactly when. I did a video this morning, and it's kind of funny. Kind of funny how some things work out. Because this morning's video, I talked about The NFL needs to just go ahead and reinstate Randy Gregory. After what happened with Zach Braun, if you watch my morning video, which is don't sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because you literally can't sleep on the Dallas Cowboys because things happen late in the evening, late at night, first thing in the morning, so you want to be up to speed with all that is the Dallas Cowboys when you start your day. You want to be an educated Dallas Cowboy fan to know what to talk about. And that's exactly what I talked about. I said the NFL needs to reinstate Randy Gregory right now. Go back, watch the tape. Because if you're not doing anything with these guys now, you need to make this retroactive. Randy Gregory never had any issues other than getting busted for weed. There were no drunk drivings. There were no belligerence with the coaching staff. There were no issues with women. There were no falling asleep when you had Isaiah Thomas at the facilities to speak to the players. There were no missed meetings. There were no times where, you know what, I just don't feel like practicing. There were none of those, give me a blow because I'm great. The only issue he had was he smoked weed. And that is no longer an issue in the NFL. And so I said this morning, the NFL needs to reinstate it. Well, lo and behold, we come to find out this evening. I don't know if the NFL was listening to me. And they thought, yeah, he kind of has a point there. But we come to find out that Randy Gregory, as well as Aldon Smith, have both applied for reinstatement. Now, what I said this morning too, I wasn't sure exactly how things were going to change because of the new collective bargaining agreement. In the past, once you applied for reinstatement, the NFL was supposed to respond within 60 days of yay or nay. Here's the interesting take on this. They've both already reapplied. They're not expecting to hear word from it before the draft, which would be next Thursday, a week and some hours from now, but shortly after the draft. Now, that still puts the Dallas Cowboys at a slight disadvantage, because if you know that you got Aldon Smith as well as Randy Gregory coming back, because let's face it, these guys are dirt cheap. Randy Gregory is still on basically his rookie contract with an extension on it. It ain't paying him but peanuts. Aldon Smith, when you think that, Robert Quinn got twice the amount of money, Aldon Smith has to get 14 sacks to get $4.5 million. 14 sacks to get that $4.5 million. It's truly a proven contract. These brothers are dirt cheap. If you know you got those two guys coming back to your roster, then that kind of changes how you draft. You may not be looking quite as much as that edge pass rusher so early in the draft. You may want to go ahead and say, we can go ahead and get that cornerback, or we can go ahead and get ourselves that big one technique guy, that younger Dontari Poe, to go in the middle. Or you may look at this and say, okay, we got those two edge rushers. Maybe we go ahead and try and take that 17 pick, move back about 6 or 8 spots, and go ahead and try and get a cornerback and, get us an extra pick in there. Maybe, we get a 3rd round pick to go with that. So we get a 3rd and a 2nd, move back up towards the 1st round and try and get that defensive tackle, because we know we got those. But then if you don't know if you got those and you have a guy out there that's outside edge rushing, you kind of say, I need to go and take that because I don't know if I have them or not. So, of course, the NFL wouldn't do the Cowboys any favors by letting them know before the draft. But I believe that, excuse me, excuse me, that wasn't a Corona. That was something, I got talking so much, the saliva started going and it rolled down the wrong pipe there. You're going to look at the draft differently, and we don't expect the NFL to do the Dallas Cowboys any favors. But the way I look at it like this is, the NFL, after the Zeke Elliott situation where there were no winners. Yes, the NFL suspended Zeke Elliott, but you look bad because you're not the judicial system. There was doubts. It was not beyond a shadow of a doubt that he did this. For Jerry Jones, who got fined because he stood up for his player, for him to go back at the NFL and try and sue them and try to get rid of the, Roger Goodell, that was not a good look, and nor was it Jerry Jones going to New York with his attorneys trying to fight the couple $1 million fine and basically coming out with his tail between his legs. The NFL, I believe, is trying to get away from trying to be the judge, jury, and executioner and just concentrate on football and making as much money as possible. They don't want to deal with this stuff. And that drug testing was just a way of tossing the players a bone to get what they really wanted, which was 17 games. And not prosecuting that, again, it's another bone that they threw to the NFLPA to truly get what they wanted. So I believe that both of those guys will be reinstated if and when the teams are actually able to get on the field, that they will be there working out with the team. No guarantee that either of these guys still have it because they haven't played in a long time. But here's the other key. If, and this is a big if they start getting back to some kind of normalcy before training camp, if it ends up being that OTAs get pushed closer to the season, that instead of having in May, mini camps and things like that, in June you start having mini camps, and you have some early in July, or maybe you extend training camp. You open up training camp 2 weeks early and take the OTAs and the mini camps and just say that's part of training camp. If they have more time to get with these guys, you may see them be able to make an impact on the field. We'll have to wait and see where that goes with it. But hey, I'm hopeful. I'm going to try and do something here differently on the channel than what I've done before. I've always tried to have integrity. I've always tried to get the story to you guys quickly, and I always try to get the story right. I may not like some players out there, like say Carson Wentz. I may joke about him. I may say some bad things about him, but I also too admit that he's a good player. He's got some issues. He fumbles too much and he can't keep his ass healthy. He keeps leaving body parts on the field. But I'm not going to lie to you. I want to make sure that the things that I tell you on this channel, that I can back up. That there will be integrity on this channel, unlike what you see from the ESPNs, the Fox News, and all these guys. Because you listen to the things that they do, it feels scripted, it feels like it's not credible, it's not factual. There's something to having integrity and being able to stand behind what you say. And I want everything that comes out of this channel, things that I can back up and that I am proud to put out there. The truth. And that's where I'm going to leave this here tonight, guys. We may be sheltered in. We may be dealing with this virus. You can best believe that all day, every day, I am working hard to make this the best YouTube channel and sports place for you guys to go. And I'm going to succeed or I'm going to die trying. And brother, I ain't planning on going anywhere anytime soon. So with that being said, it's time to turn off the lights. Another day has passed us by. Thank all of you guys that are out there, that are taking care of business, doctors, nurses, interns, housekeeping, medical supply companies, truck drivers, grocery store workers, postal workers, UPS, FedEx, all you people, the trash man, people out in the fields picking food, people working in the food factories, the slaughterhouses, everyone out there that is keeping this country alive. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And better days, you can best believe, are coming. It's time for me to turn out the lights, y'all. This part is over.